I warn you to stop doing this. Written and published by I Am Audiobooks. The path to financial ruin is often paved with seemingly innocent daily habits that slowly but surely erode our wealth. These destructive patterns can operate silently in the background of our lives, draining our resources and preventing us from building the financial security we deserve. Understanding and eliminating these habits isn't just important. It's crucial for your financial survival. One of the most devastating habits that demands immediate attention is mindless spending on non-essential items. This isn't about the occasional treat or reward. It's about the constant stream of small purchases that add no real value to your life. That daily designer coffee, impulsive online shopping during lunch breaks, or subscribing to numerous streaming services you barely use. These expenditures might seem minimal in isolation, but collectively they create a massive leak in your financial bucket. Lesson 1. The habits you must stop immediately to avoid financial disaster. Living beyond your means through credit card abuse is another critical habit that requires immediate cessation. The illusion of extended purchasing power through credit cards has trapped countless people in a cycle of debt. When you consistently spend more than you earn, you're not just accumulating debt. You're paying a premium on your lifestyle through interest charges, effectively making everything you buy significantly more expensive than its sticker price. Equally dangerous is the habit of avoiding financial reality. Many people actively choose not to look at their bank statements, ignore their bills until the last minute, or refuse to create and follow a budget. This financial avoidance behavior is particularly insidious because it allows other destructive habits to flourish unchecked. You cannot manage what you don't measure, and refusing to face your financial reality is a direct path to monetary disaster. The practice of emotional spending serves as both a symptom and a cause of financial distress. Using shopping as a coping mechanism for stress, sadness, or other emotional challenges creates a destructive cycle. The temporary high of purchasing is quickly replaced by the stress of financial strain, leading to more emotional spending. This habit not only damages your financial health, but also prevents you from developing healthy emotional coping mechanisms. Another habit that must be eliminated is the failure to save and invest. Many people justify their lack of savings by claiming they'll start when they earn more money. However, waiting for the perfect time to begin saving is a form of self-sabotage. Whether it's $5 or $500, establishing the habit of regular saving and investing is crucial for building long-term wealth. The tendency to follow social pressure and keep up with peers' spending patterns is equally destructive. Trying to maintain an image through expensive purchases, participating in every social event regardless of cost, or making financial decisions based on others' expectations rather than your own goals and means is a guaranteed way to derail your financial future. Perhaps the most dangerous habit is the continued acceptance of financial ignorance. Refusing to educate yourself about basic financial principles, investment options, or money management strategies keeps you vulnerable to poor decisions and predatory practices. Financial education isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for survival in today's complex economic environment. These habits don't exist in isolation. They often reinforce each other, creating a web of financial destruction that becomes increasingly difficult to escape. The good news is that recognizing these patterns is the first step toward eliminating them. Each of these habits can be replaced with positive financial behaviors that build wealth rather than destroy it. Your financial future depends on your willingness to honestly assess your current habits and take immediate action to eliminate those that are damaging your financial health. The cost of maintaining these destructive patterns isn't just measured in dollars and cents, it's measured in lost opportunities, increased stress, and diminished quality of life. The time to stop these habits isn't tomorrow or next month, it's now. Lesson 2. How to break free from behaviors that attract poverty. Breaking free from poverty. Attracting behaviors requires more than just willpower. It demands a complete transformation of deeply ingrained habits and thought patterns. These behaviors often operate silently in our daily lives, steadily eroding our financial well-being without our conscious awareness. The first step in breaking free is acknowledging these destructive patterns, which might include impulsive spending, avoiding financial responsibilities, or maintaining a scarcity mindset. One of the most common poverty-attracting behaviors is the tendency to live paycheck to paycheck without any strategic planning. This behavior creates a perpetual cycle of financial stress and prevents the accumulation of wealth. To break this pattern, start by creating a detailed spending plan and commit to saving a portion of your income, no matter how small. This shift from reactive to proactive financial management marks the beginning of your transformation. Another significant behavior that attracts poverty is the habit of making emotional financial decisions. When we allow our feelings to guide our spending, we often make choices that compromise our long-term financial stability. Learning to separate emotions from financial decisions requires practice and awareness. Before making any purchase or financial commitment, take a step back and evaluate the decision objectively, considering its long-term impact on your financial goals. The company we keep can significantly influence our financial behaviors. Surrounding yourself with people who demonstrate poor financial habits can normalize destructive patterns and make it harder to break free. Start cultivating relationships with people who exhibit responsible financial behavior and can serve as positive role models for your financial journey. Procrastination in financial matters is another poverty-attracting behavior that needs immediate attention. Whether it's delaying bill payments, avoiding budget reviews, or postponing investment decisions, financial procrastination can lead to missed opportunities and unnecessary expenses. Implement a system of regular financial check-ins and automatic payments to overcome this tendency. Many people unknowingly attract poverty through their language and thoughts about money. Negative self-talk, like "I'll never be wealthy" or "money is the root of all evil," creates mental barriers to financial success. Replace these limiting beliefs with empowering thoughts and affirmations about your ability to create and maintain wealth. This mental shift is crucial for lasting financial transformation. The habit of seeking instant gratification often leads to poor financial choices. Breaking free from this behavior requires developing patience and focusing on long-term financial goals. Start by implementing a waiting period before making non-essential purchases, allowing time to evaluate whether the expense aligns with your financial objectives. Another crucial step in breaking free from poverty-attracting behaviors is developing financial literacy. Ignorance about money management, investment options, and financial planning can keep you trapped in a cycle of poor decisions. Commit to ongoing financial education through books, courses, or workshops to build your knowledge and confidence in handling money. The behavior of avoiding financial reality by not tracking expenses or checking account balances must also be addressed. Implementation of regular financial monitoring habits helps maintain awareness and control over your money. Use technology tools or simple spreadsheets to track every dollar, making it easier to identify and correct problematic spending patterns. Creating new, wealth-attracting behaviors requires consistency and dedication. Start with small, manageable changes and gradually build upon them. For example, begin by tracking daily expenses for a week, then expand to monthly budget planning, and eventually move into more complex financial planning and investment strategies. Each positive change creates momentum for further transformation, helping you break free from the behaviors that have been holding you back financially. Breaking free from poverty-attracting behaviors is a journey that requires patience and persistence. Focus on progress rather than perfection, and celebrate small victories along the way. As you consistently replace destructive patterns with positive financial habits, you'll begin to see tangible improvements in your financial situation, creating a strong foundation for long-term wealth building. Lesson 3. The warning signs you're sabotaging your own financial future. Your financial future is constantly being shaped by the decisions you make today, yet many people unknowingly engage in behaviors that sabotage their path to wealth. These warning signs often manifest subtly, making them particularly dangerous as they can go unnoticed until significant damage has occurred. One of the most prevalent warning signs is the persistent habit of making excuses for unnecessary purchases. When you frequently justify spending by telling yourself, "I deserve this," or "it's just this once," you're likely engaging in emotional spending that undermines your financial stability. This pattern of rationalization becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, leading to a cycle of spending that gradually erodes your wealth-building potential. Another critical red flag is the tendency to avoid looking at your bank statements or credit card bills. This avoidance behavior indicates a deeper issue with financial responsibility and often masks growing problems that compound over time. When you choose to remain ignorant of your financial situation, you surrender control over your monetary future and allow potential issues to fester unchecked. The habit of comparing yourself to others and trying to maintain appearances is a particularly insidious warning sign. If you find yourself making purchases primarily to keep up with friends, colleagues, or social media influences, you're likely sacrificing long-term financial health for short-term social validation. This behavior often leads to debt accumulation and prevents the building of meaningful wealth. Regularly borrowing money for non-emergency expenses serves as another clear warning sign. Whether it's using credit cards for daily expenses without paying the full balance monthly or frequently asking friends and family for small loans, this pattern indicates a fundamental misalignment between income and spending habits. This behavior creates a false sense of financial capacity and can quickly spiral into overwhelming debt. Living paycheck to paycheck despite earning a reasonable income is a major red flag that often goes unrecognized. If you consistently find yourself without savings or emergency funds, regardless of income increases or bonuses, it's a clear indication that your financial habits are working against your long-term interests. This situation reveals a problem with money management rather than income level. The practice of making financial decisions based on monthly payments rather than total cost is another subtle but dangerous warning sign. When you focus solely on whether you can afford the monthly payment for a car, house, or other major purchase without considering the total cost and impact on your financial future, you're likely overextending yourself and limiting your wealth-building potential. Ignoring retirement planning or consistently prioritizing immediate wants over long-term financial security is a warning sign that becomes more costly with each passing year. The absence of regular contributions to retirement accounts or investment vehicles suggests a dangerous short-term mindset that can lead to financial hardship in later years. Emotional reactions to money discussions or financial planning conversations often indicate underlying issues with money management. If you find yourself becoming defensive, anxious, or angry when discussing finances, it's likely a sign that you're aware of problematic behaviors but aren't ready to address them. This emotional response can prevent you from making necessary changes and seeking helpful financial guidance. Being unable to maintain a budget or consistently tracking expenses is a warning sign that points to a lack of financial discipline. While creating a budget is important, the inability to stick to it reveals deeper issues with financial self-control and decision-making. This behavior often leads to chronic overspending and the inability to build wealth effectively. Recognizing these warning signs is the first step toward correcting course and securing your financial future. Each of these behaviors represents a choice point where you can decide to continue down a path of financial sabotage or make changes that support your long-term financial well-being. The presence of these warning signs doesn't condemn you to financial failure, but ignoring them certainly increases that risk significantly. Lesson 4. How to firmly stop poverty, attracting habits without guilt. Breaking free from poverty, attracting habits doesn't have to be accompanied by overwhelming guilt or shame. The journey toward financial wellness begins with understanding that many of our financial behaviors were learned or developed as coping mechanisms during different life stages. Rather than beating yourself up over past mistakes, acknowledge that you're now taking positive steps toward change. The first step in breaking poverty, attracting habits without guilt is to practice self-compassion. Recognize that your previous financial decisions were made with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. You're not a bad person for having developed these habits. You're a human being who's ready to evolve and grow. This mindset shift is crucial because guilt often leads to a cycle of negative financial behaviors where shame triggers more problematic spending or avoidance of financial responsibilities. Creating new financial habits becomes easier when you focus on progress rather than perfection. Instead of completely overhauling your lifestyle overnight, start with small, manageable changes. For example, if you're used to emotional spending, begin by implementing a 24-hour waiting period before making non-essential purchases. This creates space for reflection without the immediate guilt of completely denying yourself. The transition away from poverty, attracting habits becomes more sustainable when you replace them with empowering alternatives. When you feel the urge to engage in a financially destructive behavior, redirect that energy into activities that build wealth. This might mean transferring the money you would have spent impulsively into a savings account, learning about investing, or developing a new skill that could increase your earning potential. Understanding your financial triggers is essential for guilt-free transformation. Often poverty, attracting habits, are responses to stress, anxiety, or past experiences with money. By identifying these triggers, you can develop healthier coping mechanisms that don't compromise your financial well-being. This might involve seeking support from a financial counselor or therapist who can help you work through the emotional aspects of your relationship with money. Establishing clear boundaries around money helps prevent guilt from creeping back in. Create specific guidelines for spending, saving, and investing that align with your financial goals. When you have predetermined rules to follow, decisions become less emotional and more practical. This structure provides a framework for making choices that support your financial growth without feeling restricted or deprived. Celebrating small victories along the way reinforces positive change without guilt. Each time you successfully resist a poverty-attracting habit, acknowledge it as a step forward. Keep track of the money saved or the positive choices made, focusing on the progress rather than dwelling on past mistakes. This positive reinforcement helps build confidence and momentum in your financial journey. Building a support network of like-minded people can help maintain your new habits without guilt. Surround yourself with people who understand and support your financial goals. Share your experiences, challenges, and successes with others who are also working to improve their financial habits. This community can provide encouragement, accountability, and practical advice without judgment. Changing financial habits is a process, not an event. Some days will be easier than others, and that's perfectly normal. Instead of viewing setbacks as failures, treat them as learning opportunities. Each challenge provides valuable information about your triggers, strengths, and areas for growth. This perspective helps maintain forward momentum without getting caught in guilt-induced paralysis. The key to firmly stopping poverty, attracting habits without guilt, lies in developing a balanced, compassionate approach to financial change. By combining practical strategies with emotional awareness, you can create lasting transformation that feels empowering rather than restrictive. Your financial future is shaped by the choices you make today, and choosing to move forward with confidence rather than guilt sets the foundation for long-term success. Lesson 5. Why saying no to these behaviors changes your financial destiny. The power of saying no extends far beyond simple rejection. It's a transformative force that can completely reshape your financial future. When you decisively refuse to engage in wealth-depleting behaviors, you create an immediate shift in your financial trajectory. This shift begins with understanding that every no to a destructive financial habit is simultaneously a yes to wealth creation. Consider Sarah, who struggled with impulsive online shopping for years. Her breakthrough came when she finally said no to hourly browsing of shopping apps and deleted them from her phone. Within 6 months, her savings grew by $7,000, money that previously disappeared into unnecessary purchases. This single boundary transformed her ability to build wealth. The impact of establishing financial boundaries ripples through every aspect of your life. When you say no to lending money to unreliable friends, you protect not only your wealth but also your relationships. When you decline to participate in get-rich-quick schemes, you preserve both your capital and your peace of mind. These boundaries become the foundation of your financial fortress. Your no carries exponential power through time. Refusing a daily $5 coffee habit saves $18.25 annually, but the real magic happens when that money is invested. At a modest 7% return, those savings could grow to over $25,000 in 10 years. Each no to unnecessary spending becomes a brick in your wealth-building wall. The transformation extends beyond numbers. People who master the art of saying no report increased confidence, reduced stress, and clearer decision-making abilities. They develop an internal compass that guides them toward wealth, building opportunities, and away from financial pitfalls. This heightened awareness becomes second nature, automatically filtering out poverty, attracting behaviors. The most successful people attribute their financial growth to their ability to say no early and often. Warren Buffett famously said that the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. This principle applies not just to business opportunities but to daily financial choices. Learning to say no requires understanding that discomfort is temporary but financial consequences are long-lasting. The momentary awkwardness of declining a friend's invitation to an expensive restaurant pales in comparison to the peace of mind that comes from staying within your financial plans. Each time you exercise your no muscle, it becomes stronger. The psychological impact of consistent boundary setting creates a positive feedback loop. As you see your wealth grow through disciplined choices, your confidence in saying no increases. This reinforcement makes future decisions easier and builds momentum toward your financial goals. Your no becomes a powerful tool for wealth attraction rather than a source of deprivation. Transformational stories abound of people who changed their financial destiny through strategic rejection of poverty, attracting behaviors. Take Michael, who said no to living in an expensive city center and moved just 30 minutes away. His reduced housing costs allowed him to start a successful business within 2 years. His initial no led to an opportunity that completely changed his financial trajectory. The power of no extends to professional growth as well. Declining to stay in a low-paying job, refusing to work without fair compensation, and rejecting opportunities that don't align with your financial goals all contribute to increased wealth potential. Each boundary you set sends a clear message about your financial self-worth and attracts better opportunities. Your financial destiny shifts the moment you embrace the power of no as a tool for wealth creation rather than a limitation. This mindset transformation turns every decision into an opportunity to move closer to your financial goals. The boundaries you set today become the foundation of your future wealth, making each no a strategic investment in your financial destiny. Lesson 6. The psychology behind actions that keep you broke. Understanding the psychological mechanisms that keep us trapped in financial scarcity is crucial for breaking free from poverty. Attracting behaviors. Our actions around money are deeply rooted in our subconscious mind, shaped by early experiences, family dynamics, and ingrained belief systems that often operate without our conscious awareness. Many people remain broke not because they lack intelligence or opportunity, but because their psychological programming creates self-defeating patterns. One common mental block is the scarcity mindset, where people constantly focus on what they lack rather than possibilities for abundance. This mindset leads to panic, driven financial decisions, impulse purchases, and the inability to plan for the future. Emotional spending serves as a coping mechanism for deeper psychological needs. When people feel stressed, lonely, or inadequate, they often turn to shopping as a form of self-medication. This temporary emotional relief creates a dangerous cycle, as the financial consequences of emotional spending led to more stress, perpetuating the pattern. Breaking this cycle requires addressing the underlying emotional triggers and developing healthier coping strategies. Generational patterns play a significant role in our financial psychology. Children absorb their parents' attitudes and behaviors around money, often unconsciously carrying these patterns into adulthood. If you grew up in a household where money was always a source of stress, conflict, or shame, you might have internalized these associations. These inherited patterns can manifest as self-sabotaging behaviors like chronic under-earning, excessive debt, or an inability to save. The fear of success represents another psychological barrier that keeps people broke. While this may seem counterintuitive, many people unconsciously sabotage their financial progress because wealth feels uncomfortable or threatens their sense of identity. This fear might stem from beliefs that money is evil, that wealthy people are inherently bad, or that they don't deserve financial success. Rewiring financial thinking requires conscious effort to identify and challenge these limiting beliefs. The brain creates neural pathways through repeated thoughts and behaviors, and these pathways can be redirected through intentional practice. This process involves questioning automatic thoughts about money, examining their validity, and consciously choosing new, empowering perspectives. The concept of financial self-worth profoundly impacts our money behaviors. Many people unconsciously set an internal financial thermostat that determines their comfort level with money. When their financial situation exceeds this set point, they may unconsciously engage in behaviors that bring them back to their familiar zone of financial comfort, even if that zone involves struggle. Social conditioning and cultural messages about money also shape our financial psychology. Media messages, societal expectations, and peer pressure can create unhealthy relationships with money. The constant bombardment of consumerist messages triggers comparison, based spending, and the belief that material possessions equal success or happiness. Understanding these psychological dynamics empowers us to make conscious choices rather than operating on autopilot. By recognizing our emotional triggers, challenging limiting beliefs, and actively choosing new patterns, we can begin to shift our financial reality. This transformation requires patience and persistence, as deeply ingrained psychological patterns take time to change. Working with these psychological aspects often requires support from financial therapists, counselors, or money coaches who can help identify blind spots and provide tools for change. Creating new money mindsets involves developing emotional awareness, practicing self-compassion, and consistently reinforcing positive financial behaviors until they become automatic. The journey to financial health must address both practical money management skills and the psychological underpinnings of our financial behaviors. By understanding and working with our psychological patterns, we can create lasting change that supports sustainable financial success. Lesson 7. How to recognize when your daily habits are ruining your finances. The most dangerous financial habits are often the ones that seem harmless in our daily routines. These small, seemingly insignificant actions compound over time, creating a devastating impact on our financial well-being. The key to recognizing these destructive patterns lies in developing an acute awareness of our daily choices and their long-term consequences. Your morning routine might be the first place where wealth-draining habits manifest. That daily designer coffee purchase, while providing temporary satisfaction, represents more than just a simple expense. When calculated annually, these small indulgences often amount to thousands of dollars that could have been invested or saved. Similarly, the habit of not preparing meals at home and regularly ordering takeout creates a significant financial drain that many people fail to acknowledge until they examine their monthly statements. Digital subscriptions and automated payments present another subtle form of financial drain. Many people continue paying for services they rarely use simply because they've forgotten about these recurring charges. The convenience of automated payments, while useful for essential bills, can mask unnecessary expenses that silently eat away at your wealth-building potential. The way you handle your workspace and professional life can also harbor wealth-depleting habits. Consistently arriving late to work, taking extended breaks, or failing to upgrade your skills can limit your earning potential and career advancement opportunities. These behaviors might seem disconnected from your financial situation, but they directly impact your ability to increase your income and create wealth. Your social habits and peer interactions play a crucial role in your financial health. Constantly trying to keep up with friends' spending patterns, participating in every social event regardless of cost, or lending money without proper boundaries all contribute to financial instability. These social pressures often lead to impulsive purchases and unnecessary expenses that derail your financial goals. Shopping habits, particularly online shopping, require careful scrutiny. The ease of one-click purchases and the constant bombardment of targeted advertisements can create a pattern of mindless spending. Each time you make an unplanned purchase, you're not just spending money, you're reinforcing a habit that undermines your financial future. Time management also directly correlates with financial health. Spending excessive time on social media or entertainment instead of focusing on personal development, side hustles, or financial education represents a significant opportunity cost. Every hour spent unproductively is an hour not invested in activities that could improve your financial situation. Your emotional state greatly influences your spending patterns. Using shopping as a coping mechanism for stress, boredom, or other emotional triggers creates a destructive cycle that damages both your financial and emotional well-being. Recognition of these emotional spending triggers is crucial for developing healthier financial habits. Home organization and maintenance habits impact your finances more than you might realize. Neglecting regular maintenance of your possessions, failing to organize important documents, or ignoring small repairs until they become major problems all represent financial leakage that could be prevented with better habits. To break free from these wealth-draining patterns, start by documenting your daily activities and their associated costs. Track every expense, no matter how small, and analyze your time usage. Look for patterns in your behavior that might be undermining your financial goals. Often, the simple act of becoming aware of these habits is enough to initiate change. Creating new wealth-building habits requires consistent effort and awareness. Replace destructive patterns with constructive ones gradually. Instead of mindless scrolling, use that time to learn about investing. Rather than emotional shopping, develop a hobby that could generate income. When you notice yourself falling into old patterns, pause and redirect your energy toward activities that support your financial growth. Remember, your daily habits are the building blocks of your financial future. Each small decision either moves you closer to financial prosperity or deeper into financial struggle. By maintaining awareness of your daily choices and their financial implications, you can gradually transform wealth-draining habits into wealth-building behaviors that support your long-term financial success. Lesson 8. Breaking the Poverty Cycle. What to Stop Doing Today. The poverty cycle persists through generations not by chance, but through repeated patterns of behavior that we can identify and stop today. Breaking free from this cycle requires immediate, decisive action that goes beyond mere awareness into concrete steps that create lasting change. The first behavior to eliminate is the habit of reactive financial decisions. When we operate from a place of immediate emotional response rather than thoughtful planning, we perpetuate the cycle of financial instability. This means stopping the practice of making purchases based on temporary feelings or social pressure, and instead implementing a mandatory 24-hour waiting period for any non-essential purchase over a certain amount. Another critical pattern to break is the constant comparison with others' financial status. This behavior leads to unnecessary spending and debt accumulation as people try to maintain appearances or keep up with perceived social standards. The energy spent on comparison should be redirected toward personal financial education and growth. The habit of avoiding financial reality must also stop immediately. Many people trapped in the poverty cycle refuse to look at their bank statements, ignore bills until they become emergencies, or maintain a vague understanding of their true financial situation. This avoidance behavior creates a compound effect where small problems snowball into major financial crises. Income dependency is another pattern that needs immediate attention. Relying solely on a single source of income, especially in today's economic climate, is a risk that perpetuates financial vulnerability. Start building multiple income streams, even if they're small at first. This might mean selling items online, offering services based on your skills, or investing in dividend-paying assets. The practice of emotional spending as a coping mechanism must cease. Using shopping as therapy or reward creates a dangerous link between emotional well-being and financial decisions. Replace this behavior with cost-free activities that provide similar emotional benefits, such as exercise, meditation, or spending time in nature. Another crucial behavior to stop is the automatic acceptance of financial obligations. Whether it's co-signing loans, lending money to family members, or taking on debt for others, these actions often stem from guilt or social pressure rather than sound financial judgment. Learning to say no to these requests is essential for breaking the poverty cycle. The habit of working harder instead of smarter needs to end today. Many people trapped in poverty believe that simply working more hours is the solution to their financial problems. Instead, focus on increasing your value through skill development, networking, and strategic career moves that can lead to higher compensation for your time. Stop the practice of making financial decisions in isolation. The poverty cycle often continues because people feel ashamed or embarrassed to seek help, connect with financial advisors, mentors, or support groups who can provide guidance and accountability. Their outside perspective can help identify blind spots and suggest solutions you might not see on your own. Lastly, end the habit of postponing financial education. The belief that money management is too complicated or only for the wealthy keeps many people trapped in poverty. Start today by committing to learning one new financial concept each week, whether through books, podcasts, or online resources. Breaking the poverty cycle requires more than just knowledge. It demands immediate action. Each day these behaviors continue. They reinforce the patterns that keep financial stability out of reach. By stopping these actions today and replacing them with positive financial habits, you create a new trajectory for your financial future. The cycle breaks when you decide to stop participating in these self-defeating behaviors and start building a foundation for lasting financial health. Lesson 9. The courage to change. Stopping self-destructive financial patterns. Making significant financial changes requires more than just knowledge. It demands genuine courage. The journey to stop self-destructive financial patterns often begins with acknowledging that change, while uncomfortable, is necessary for growth. Many people remain trapped in damaging financial behaviors, not because they don't know better, but because they lack the confidence to make different choices. Building financial confidence starts with small victories. Begin by identifying one destructive pattern you're ready to address. This could be impulsive shopping, avoiding budget reviews, or enabling others' poor financial choices. Taking action on just one issue helps develop the confidence needed to tackle larger challenges. As you successfully modify one behavior, your belief in your ability to change grows stronger. Resistance to financial change often stems from deep-seated emotional attachments to current behaviors. These might be linked to childhood experiences, family traditions, or coping mechanisms developed over time. Understanding that resistance is normal helps reduce self-judgment and creates space for growth. Instead of fighting against resistance, acknowledge it as a natural part of the transformation process. Creating a strong support system proves crucial when stopping self-destructive financial patterns. This network might include financially responsible friends, family members, or professional advisors who understand your goals and encourage positive changes. They can provide accountability, share experiences, and offer guidance during challenging moments. Having people who believe in your capacity for change strengthens your resolve when self-doubt creeps in. The momentum required for lasting financial transformation comes from consistent action. Each time you choose a healthier financial behavior over a destructive one, you reinforce new neural pathways. This might mean walking away from an unnecessary purchase, saying no to lending money you can't afford to give, or dedicating time to financial planning instead of avoiding it. These actions, though sometimes uncomfortable, build the momentum needed for lasting change. Personal transformation often requires environmental changes too. This might mean unsubscribing from shopping newsletters, avoiding certain stores, or changing routes to prevent triggering locations. Creating an environment that supports your financial goals rather than undermines them makes it easier to maintain positive changes. Consider your physical and digital spaces, ensuring they align with your financial objectives. The courage to change also involves facing potential criticism or misunderstanding from others. Some people in your life might resist your new financial boundaries or choices. They might question your decisions or try to pull you back into old patterns. Standing firm in your commitment to financial health, despite others' reactions, demonstrates true courage and self-respect. Developing new financial habits requires patience and self-compassion. Setbacks are not failures but opportunities for learning and adjustment. Each time you slip into an old pattern, use it as a chance to understand your triggers and strengthen your response strategies. This approach helps maintain momentum without becoming discouraged by temporary setbacks. The process of stopping self-destructive financial patterns often reveals deeper personal growth opportunities. As you develop financial courage, you might find other areas of life where you're ready to make positive changes. This ripple effect can lead to improved relationships, career decisions, and overall life satisfaction. Financial transformation often catalyzes broader personal development. Courage grows through practice. Each time you choose financial health over destructive patterns, you strengthen your capacity for positive change. Building confidence, overcoming resistance, leveraging support systems, and maintaining momentum create a foundation for lasting financial transformation. Your commitment to stopping self-destructive financial patterns not only improves your financial future, but demonstrates remarkable personal strength and wisdom. Lesson 10. Warning: these common behaviors are wealth repellents. The path to wealth creation is often blocked by behaviors that actively repel financial abundance. These seemingly innocent habits act like invisible barriers, consistently pushing away opportunities for financial growth and prosperity. Understanding and eliminating these wealth repellents is crucial for anyone serious about building lasting financial success. One of the most pervasive wealth repellents is the habit of reactive spending, making purchases based on emotional triggers rather than careful planning. When we allow our emotions to drive our financial decisions, we create a pattern of impulsive behavior that erodes our wealth-building potential. This extends beyond simple retail therapy to include major purchases like vehicles, electronics, or even homes that exceed our genuine needs and financial capacity. Procrastination in financial matters serves as another powerful wealth repellent. Delaying important financial decisions, avoiding budget reviews, or postponing investment opportunities creates a cumulative negative effect on wealth building. Each day of delay represents lost potential for compound growth and missed opportunities for financial advancement. The habit of waiting for the perfect moment to start saving or investing often means that moment never arrived. The tendency to follow the crowd in financial decisions acts as a significant wealth repellent, making investment choices based on popular trends rather than sound research and personal financial goals often leads to losses. This behavior is particularly dangerous in the age of social media, where financial advice and investment tips spread rapidly without context or consideration for individual circumstances. Living without financial boundaries represents another wealth-repelling behavior that must be addressed. This includes regularly lending money to friends or family without clear repayment terms, co-signing loans without careful consideration of the risks, or failing to maintain clear separation between personal and business finances. These boundary issues create financial leaks that steadily drain resources and prevent wealth accumulation. The habit of maintaining a scarcity mindset serves as a particularly insidious wealth repellent. When we consistently focus on what we lack rather than opportunities for growth, we unconsciously make decisions that reinforce our financial limitations. This mindset manifests in behaviors like avoiding necessary investments in education or business growth, choosing lower quality options to save money in the short term, or refusing to charge fair prices for our products or services. Another common wealth repellent is the failure to protect and insure assets properly. Many people avoid obtaining adequate insurance coverage, creating proper legal structures for their businesses, or implementing basic security measures for their financial accounts. This leaves them vulnerable to catastrophic losses that can instantly erase years of wealth-building efforts. The behavior of isolating oneself from financial education and mentorship opportunities actively repels wealth. Refusing to seek guidance, avoid networking events, or participate in professional development maintains a limited perspective that prevents financial growth. This isolation often stems from pride or fear, but results in missed opportunities for learning and advancement. Chronic comparison with others serves as a wealth repellent by directing focus away from personal financial goals and toward external markers of success. This leads to inappropriate financial decisions based on maintaining appearances rather than building genuine wealth. The energy spent on comparison could be better invested in developing personal financial strategies and goals. Perhaps the most dangerous wealth repellent is the habit of refusing to acknowledge and learn from financial mistakes. When we deny our errors, blame others, or avoid examining our financial missteps, we miss crucial opportunities for growth and improvement. This behavior creates a cycle of repeated mistakes that consistently undermines wealth-building efforts. Understanding these wealth repellents is only the first step. The real work lies in actively identifying these behaviors in our own lives and implementing specific strategies to eliminate them. This requires honest self-assessment, commitment to change, and consistent effort to replace wealth-repelling habits with behaviors that attract and maintain financial abundance. By consciously working to eliminate these common wealth repellents, we create space for positive financial growth and long-term prosperity.